This is part 6 of my video series helping students to understand my course expectations for the courses that I teach at San Jose State. If you're starting from scratch, you probably should listen to the first few videos first, so this will make a little bit more sense. We talked last time about being on time, and we've got a couple more course policies. One of them is using technology appropriately. Keep in mind that my goal is to create a learning environment that is positive and helpful for everybody in the course. And we use technology all the time, right? I'm creating this thing on a set of videos. I'm the biggest Mac geek you're ever going to meet. I love it. I love my iPhone. I feel tied to it. And if there's technology that is able to help you learn what you need to learn in our class, that's great. And you're welcome to embrace it. But if you're using technology in a way that is interfering with your ability to learn or somebody else's ability to learn, then we've got a problem. Now, that technology is not limited to high-tech or new technology, although the most common example you're going to hear in classes is, you probably don't need to text in class. You probably don't need to have your phone out. You might. I might say something, and you might be curious about what it is that I said, and it may be your habit to Google the things that I've said. If you're using your phone in a way that's helping you to learn things that you're learning in my class, okay. If you're able to do it in a way that's not going to interfere with your ability to learn or somebody else's ability to learn. If you're going to be Facebook chatting with somebody else in the class who has to miss class that day to keep them up to speed on what happened, that might be okay. If you're going to be Facebook chatting with somebody in your other class, that can be a problem. Some other technologies include the pen and paper, right? You may be writing down notes for your physics final that you've got in an hour, and that is using that technology, that pencil and paper, in a way that is interfering with your ability to learn in this class and could really very likely be interfering with the person next to you's ability to learn from this particular course. Whatever technologies you're using, including your own voice, I expect you to be using them in ways that are going to help you learn in this class. Since a lot of the classes I teach are hybrid courses, they might only meet once a week. That time that we all have together being in class is very precious. I also expect that when you are using the course technologies that I give you, that you are using those things to help you learn in the course. So we use the wikis a lot. We're going to have course discussions. If you're using that technology as a way to kind of make a no-brainer comment, as a way to just kind of check things off of a list, and using that technology is not towards the goal of helping you learn in the course, you might get a check. You might get the bulk of the points for that. But when it comes time to assessing how much you've learned in the course, all those things are going to add up. Right? So everything that we're doing in this course is geared towards helping you meet those learning objectives. Anytime you're using a technology while you're in course, whether it's a virtual meeting or an in-person meeting, I expect that you're using that technology to help you and help your classmates meet the learning objectives. And I'll leave it up to you, and I'll let you know if I think there might be a problem, but I'm going to leave it up to you to decide what that means. If there is a particular way that you use technology that you know has been distracting for other teachers in the past, you're welcome to let me know ahead of time so that I don't kind of make assumptions about it. I've had students who I thought were just kind of not paying attention to me at all, but it turned out that what they were doing was creating really elaborate Google searches that they could save and go back to later to be able to keep track of my lectures, which is totally fine. But it can be helpful to let me know that in advance. The last policy directly on the side here that I want to make sure that you're aware of is the end of the semester temporary empathy lapse. This is not something that I do by design, but it is just a function of the limits of human beings, and it's something that I think it's fair for you to be aware of, especially because I can seem really approachable at the beginning of the semester, and I do try to be as approachable teacher as I can be. The end of the semester is a very busy time for you. Guess what? It's also really busy for me. So oftentimes you think, oh, well, Dave Terry, that guy's like, he's the cool teacher. He's going to help me out at the end of the semester. And I'm just not, because at the end of the semester, I've got a finite amount of resources. So keep in mind, I'm significantly more able to help you at the beginning than at the end.